The night sky hung low over the old coastal town as Elena stepped off the bus, clutching her worn-out backpack. The cold wind brushed past her cheeks, carrying with it the scent of sea salt and something else she couldn't quite name, something familiar, something unsettling. She wasn't supposed to return here, not after what happened 3 years ago. But she had no choice. The moment her shoes touched the gravel road, she felt it a faint tug in her chest, as if the town itself remembered her, as if it whispered her name. She hesitated, glancing around. Despite the late hour, the streets weren't empty. A lone figure leaned against a distant lamppost, head lowered, hands buried in pockets. She couldn't see his face, but his posture. Something about it made her heart skip. Elena forced herself to look away. She reminded herself why she was here. Her mother's final letter. Return to the town. The truth is waiting. Truth. That word felt heavier than her entire past. As she walked toward the old inn, the streetlights flickered one by one, as though reacting to her presence. She stopped under the last lamp, rubbing her arms as a sudden chill crawled down her spine. Still sensitive to the cold, huh? The voice came from behind her, soft, deep, achingly familiar. Elena froze. She turned slowly, breath hitching in her throat. The figure from before now stood just a few steps away, his hair messy, eyes reflecting quiet storms, lips pressed in a subtle, unreadable line. Adrian, the one person she vowed never to face again. What are you doing here? She whispered. He shifted slightly, avoiding her gaze. This is still my town. I never left. Her chest tightened. So you saw me. I felt you, he said quietly. The moment you arrived. Her breath caught. He always had this way of saying things soft, but heavy, gentle, but piercing. She stepped back, needing distance. That's impossible. Not for us, he murmured. A gust of wind surged between them, carrying a whisper only she could hear, a whisper she'd tried to forget. Elena hugged herself. I don't want any of that. I'm here for answers. Nothing else. Adrian finally met her eyes then, and for a moment, the world seemed to still. His voice dropped. Then you've come at the worst possible time. She frowned. What do you mean? He glanced toward the dark end of the street. They're awake again. Her skin prickled. Who? Adrian stepped closer, his shadow merging with hers under the dim light. Elena. The things that haunted us before, they never left. They've been waiting for you. Her heartbeat quickened. No. I left that part behind. I left everything behind. You can't leave something that's tied to you. He sighed softly, especially when it was never just a coincidence. Elena swallowed hard. She wanted to run. She wanted to scream. But all she could do was stare at him, searching for the truth in his eyes. Adrian, she whispered, just tell me one thing. He nodded slowly. Anything. Were you the one who wrote the other letter? His lips parted, hesitation flickering across his face. I thought you deserved to know, he finally said. But Elena, the truth you're looking for, it might destroy the version of your life you're trying so hard to protect. A distant, hollow sound echoed from somewhere behind the buildings, like a whisper mixed with a growl. Elena's breath trembled. Adrian. What was that? He didn't look back. His eyes stayed on her. The past, he said quietly, and it's coming. He reached out slowly, not touching her, just close enough for her to feel the warmth of his hand. Elena, stay close. Tonight isn't safe, and neither are the memories you buried. Her pulse thundered in her ears. For the first time since arriving, she realized the truth she feared most. She wasn't returning to uncover the past. The past had been waiting to reclaim her. The wind whipped harder as Elena followed Adrian through the narrow streets, her footsteps unsteady on the uneven stones. The town felt different, now like every shadow shifted when she wasn't looking, like unseen eyes blinked from the darkness. She hated how familiar it all felt. Adrian didn't speak, but his shoulders were tense, jaw clenched, as if he expected danger to slip around any corner. "Where are we going?" Elena finally whispered. "To the place where it started," he replied without slowing. "The cliffs." Her breath caught. "No, not there. Adrian, I can't go back. You have to," he murmured. "There are answers buried in that place. Answers you were never supposed to forget." Elena hugged her arms, trying to chase away the cold that wasn't from the wind. "I didn't forget. I chose to walk away." He stopped suddenly, turning toward her with eyes full of something painful. "You walked away from me too." Silence hung between them, heavy, uncomfortable, raw. Elena looked down. "I didn't know how to stay. Everything was breaking." "You were breaking. And do you think leaving made it easier?" His voice cracked softly. "I needed you then."
"And you think leaving made it easier? I needed you then."
Her throat tightened. "I was scared. You were different." Adrian looked away, studying the shadows that curled across the street like dark threads. "They changed me," he said quietly, "and I think they tried to change you too." A soft rumble echoed in the distance, like thunder rolling across the earth, except there were no storm clouds, no rain. Just that unnatural vibration in the air. Elena stiffened. "What is that?" Adrian exhaled, slowly. "They're shifting." "Stop saying they," Elena snapped, fear sharpening her voice. "It makes it sound like something is alive." His eyes met hers again, dark, steady, honest. "That's because it is." Her chest tightened painfully. They resumed walking, but the silence between them now felt sharp, carved with unspoken memories. As they reached the old steps leading up to the cliffs, Elena paused. The stone was cracked. Moss clung to the edges, and she remembered running down these same steps years ago, crying, calling Adrian's name, the shadows behind her stretching unnaturally long. She shivered violently. "Adrian," she whispered, "tell me the truth. All of it. Please." Esitate then placed his hand against the railing, fingers trembling ever so slightly. "You weren't meant to leave the town," he said steadily. "Because the town is tied to you." "To what you are?" Elena stared. "What I am? I'm nothing. I'm normal." "No," he whispered. "You're the reason the shadows woke up in the first place." Her pulse thundered. "Stop! I didn't do anything." Adrian stepped closer, lowering his voice. "You don't remember what happened the night you left. You blocked it out, all of it." Elena shook her head. "I remember enough." "Then tell me," he challenged softly. "What's the last thing you remember before the fog swallowed everything?" Her mouth opened. No sound came out. She couldn't remember. Adrian's expression softened with something like heartbreak. "That's what I thought." Another rumble trembled through the earth. Adrian grabbed her hand warm, firm, desperate. "Elena, listen to me. They want you back because you're the only one who can control them." "I don't understand," she whispered. "How could I control something I don't even know?" "You knew once," he said, "and they remember." The wind whipped violently now, tearing at her hair and clothes. The closer they got to the cliff, the louder the whispers grew, soft, layered, echoing like countless voices speaking all at once. Elena stumbled. "Adrian, what if I don't want this? What if I want to be normal?" "You were never meant to be normal," he whispered. "But you were meant to be with me, and I'll help you through it." She stared at him, at his trembling jaw, his haunted eyes, the fear he tried so hard to hide behind strength. "Why?" she breathed. "Why are you still here?" "After everything," Adrian took a slow step forward. "Because I never stopped loving you." Her breath hitched. The wind fell silent for a moment, as if the shadows themselves paused to listen. But then, a sharp cracking sound split the air. Adrian spun around instantly, pulling Elena behind him. Out of the darkness, something began to form. Not a person, not an animal. A shifting shape made of pure blackness, rippling like liquid smoke, eyes glowing faintly from within. Elena's knees weakened. No. No, Adrian. He squeezed her hand. Don't run. They can track fear. The creature let out a low, unnatural hiss. Adrian leaned toward her, voice barely above a breath. Elena, this is only the beginning. The shadow creature pulsed, its shape expanding and collapsing, as though breathing. The ground under their feet vibrated. Elena clung to Adrian's arm. What does it want? You, Adrian whispered. It always wanted you. The creature slowly drifted forward, tendrils of darkness reaching out like fingers. Elena trembled. What do I do? Remember, he said. I can. Yes, you can. His voice was steady now. You've done it before. She shook her head, tears blurring the monster's shifting form. I don't remember anything, Elena. He cupped her face gently, forcing her to meet his eyes. You trusted me once. Trust me again. Another tendril lashed out, but Adrian pulled her aside just in time. The shadow recoiled, hissing like steam hitting cold air. Why does it hate me? Elena whispered. It doesn't hate you, he said softly. It obeys you. Elena froze. What? Adrian swallowed hard. You created them. Her world flipped. Created. How could she create something like that? Her chest tightened. I don't believe you. You will, he murmured, when your memories return. The shadow creature lunged suddenly, forcing Adrian to shield her with his body. They fell to the ground, rolling across the dirt until he pinned her protectively beneath him. Elena, look at it, he said urgently. Really look. She turned her head slowly, and for the first time, she saw something she hadn't noticed before, the faint outline of a face within the darkness. A face she recognized. Her own. Elena gasped. No. This isn't real. It's as real as you and me, Adrian said softly. You created them from your fear. They're not monsters, they're pieces of your past. Elena's lips trembled. My fear created all this. Yes, he whispered. And now, your guilt is feeding them. The creature hesitated, its form flickering like a candle in wind. Elena, Adrian said gently, you can calm it. How? He took her hand, slowly lifting it toward the creature. Show it the truth. That you're not afraid anymore. Elena's heart hammered, but she didn't pull away. The shadow creature leaned closer, vibrating with tension. She whispered shakily, I'm not running anymore. The creature paused. Then something remarkable happened. Its trembling eased. Its shape stabilized. The glowing eyes dimmed. Adrian's breath caught. It's listening to you. Emboldened, she took a slow step forward. It's okay, she whispered. I'm here! The creature lowered its head, pressing its shadowy form against her hand. Warmth spread through her skin. Memories surged. Lost nights. Broken promises. The moment she first felt the darkness inside her chest, Adrian holding her as she sobbed uncontrollably. Tears streamed down her cheeks. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm sorry I left you. All of you. The creature receded slowly, curling into a small, pulsing orb of darkness at her feet. Adrian exhaled shakily. You did it. Elena looked back at him, shining, hands trembling. I didn't do it alone. Adrian stepped closer, brushing a tear from her cheek with his thumb. You never had to. She leaned into his touch, the weight of years finally lifting from her shoulders. The shadows across the town shifted, settling into stillness for the first time in years. Elena smiled softly. "So, what happens now?" Adrian intertwined his fingers with hers. "Now, we finish what we started." She squeezed his hand gently. "For the first time," she whispered, "I'm not afraid of the shadows, and you never will be again," Adrian murmured, pulling her into his arms, holding her like a promise, like a vow. Above them, the sky cleared, the stars finally breaking through the darkness. The shadows had returned for her bat this time. She wasn't running. This time, she had Adrian, and together, they were stronger than the dark.